And what's up, guys? We're here live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. Welcome to Drop a Line Takeover. It's here. We're finally here. Alec has the next 3 weeks off, so it's officially my show to run as I see fit. We're celebrating here with Jen, who's celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday, Jen! Um, yeah, we got the nice chat going. So today's guest is Nicholas Georgel. He is an artist and an author, and he is also the art director here at One True Promotion. We're going to be bringing Nick on, but right before that, we have a quick promo for Nick, so we're going to jump right into that.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Nick, welcome aboard. It's nice to have you here.
Glad
How you
to
doing
be
today?
aboard. I'm doing pretty good. I'm not sure if the drop a line takeover, does that mean you're taking it over or we're both taking it over?
I think we're officially both taking it over. This show is off the rails already.
Yep.
We are officially 8 minutes late. We had some technical difficulties, so it's perfect that we have sort of taken over this whole stream and are doing it our own way.
Yeah. Due to me forgetting to hit the microphone button on my computer.
All right, so we're going to get into it here. So the very first question I want to ask you is what got you into drawing?
Mainly what got me into drawing is manga and anime. I was always into it. Well, not always. In high school, I got really into it, manga and anime, and I just always loved the art style of it. And I'm kind of hearing myself, by the way, Andrew. Sorry to sidetrack.
Hold on, let's fix that.
Should probably have headphones in. Sorry, or maybe not. I don't know.
How about now? Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good. I was just hearing like an echo of myself. Sorry.
Do you hear the echo now?
Hello, hello, hello. Not so much now. It's like there, but very faint.
Yeah, that's the Instagram. That's the Instagram echo. It's very low on the phone there.
Okay. Hello. Sorry to cut off the answer, everybody, but the audio tech person in me had to say something before it's too late.
All right, so you want to finish that answer for them?
Yeah, I'll get back into it. But yeah, mainly what to start over. Yeah, I mean, manga and anime got me into it during high school and into college. I read a lot of manga, watched a lot of anime, and around like sophomore yearish of college, I sort of had the thought like, hey, wait a minute, like because I had been into writing, like filmmaking and writing beforehand, but with art specifically, I sort of realized, wait a minute, why can't I learn it myself? I started looking on the internet, as most people do, like how-tos and whatnot, and I bought some art books that were helpful. One that was helpful was this one, like how to draw manga, sketching manga style. This was a very helpful book. Actually, there's like a series of these. I have a couple, and stuff like that really taught me a lot of the technique, and I still open them up every so often just to like refresh my skill set, because one thing I've learned with drawing is that there is always more to learn.
Awesome. And so what kind of art inspiration do you have in terms of style? Like what sort of style do you bring to your drawings?
Well, for a while, I would say classic 1970s and 1980s anime, I would say, was a big influence. I'll name a few titles. stuff by the manga author Go Nagai, like Devilman or Cutie Honey, was a big influence. I liked Leiji Matsumoto's works, like Space Battleship Yamato. More commonly in the U.S., there was a show called Star Blazers. It's a little old show. They're old shows, but I mean, that's the thing, though. I was really drawn to the stories of old manga and anime, and not just the stories, the visuals of them. And for a while, I did that. Although right now, I'm trying to push myself beyond that. Not to say where I am, where I was is bad, but I'm trying to get closer to realism. Still draw with like line art, as you see in my art, but I'm trying to push closer to realism. I'm trying not to hang too much into the comfort zone of like the classic anime. Still let it be an influence, but I'm trying to just always improve my art, is the short of it.
Awesome. And how does that that skill set translate to your writing?
That's a good question, Andrew. I would say it translates. Actually, in some ways, it's made it a little more difficult for me in writing because now, because I approach writing and drawing almost completely differently. Because in a way, with writing, I can almost do more because it's just words. You can really take anything wherever. Whereas drawing, some of it you are limited by what you can draw. Because you could imagine in your head like the most insane like battle scene with super detailed monsters like everywhere. You know, a little easier to explain like in words, harder to do with art. I will say like I can't just draw like Berserk like that easily, whereas I could describe a scene more easily. So it, I don't know if I'm answering your question, but it's actually these are actually issues I've had to tackle with as an artist and as a writer. So like those are the big distinctions I would say there.
And how long have you been writing?
I've been writing longer actually. I tried writing when I was like in friggin' grade school. Uh, didn't really make the best story that back then, but when I really got into writing was in high school. Like many, I was inspired by like the fantasy movies that were being made when we were growing up. Like Harry Potter was a big influence. Like, and actually, we'll take the premise of Harry Potter. So to get into Life is Death, which is my first major like novel that I made. With Harry Potter, it's boy finds out he's a wizard, and you find out what happens after that. So my idea was, what if boy finds out he's a Grim Reaper? And that was the main idea for the story. It kind of branched off of that, like the young main character finds out they're a supernatural being of sorts. That was sort of a common thing that was being done for a while in movies and young adult novels. So that's kind of how I got into it.
Awesome. And do you have any other projects that you're working on currently, like that you want to talk about?
Well, yeah, I'll admit I'm in a bit of a transitionary stage right now. I got a lot of ideas like floating around writing wise. What I want to do, I have nothing like concrete right now, like new, but what I want to do in the future is combine my writing and my art, essentially, whether that be a comic or whether that be a novel or a collection of stories or something that has art in it. I want to really tackle both, essentially. I do have much of the sequel, The Life is Death, The Death of Earth, written. So there's Life is Death is actually a series, and The Death of Earth is the first book. I have written a lot of the second book, and um, I don't have any concrete dates to promote right now or anything, but I'm working on it, and I think I will finish that up at some point. There's still a lot to do. I think it's going to be like 3 books that tell this whole arc of the story. That's what I'm going for, and I have the second one there, but I'm gonna try to get 3. That's the main goal for Life is Death, at least.
All right, and we are going to have a brief pause there. We're hearing that we have some echo on Instagram, so we're gonna do the reverse of what we're doing now. So go ahead and turn the volume up on Instagram, and
Okay.
make sure your computer's muted.
All right.
We'll see if that fixes it.
All right.
What's up,
Computer
Wobbler?
muted, and I now have earbuds in for Instagram.
All right, Alec, Wobbleline, how we sound now? Are we echoing on Instagram now? That should fix the issue. For good. Put it to bed.
That's why I kept these nearby in case that happened.
Good on Instagram. Yeah, see, we're still troubleshooting here, making sure everything's good.
Yeah, so my laptop is completely muted, so StreamYard would be the thing to check, just so people to hear me and whatnot.
We're good on StreamYard.
Good on StreamYard. Yep.
All right, cool. Sounds good. All right, so getting back into it, I want to actually put our time machine caps on. I want to take you back to I want to take you back to the moment where you felt that it was time to publish Life is Death, Death of the Earth. And I want you to kind of take us back to that moment. And I kind of want you to share with us, with the audience, sort of like your reaction to knowing that you were going to publish it, to finishing the final manuscript and be like, this is the one.
Yeah, well, Life is Death took a while to become a book, actually. As I said, started out with an idea that I held in my head for a while. But to get to the publishing, so I worked on this while I was in high school. And actually, it went through a first variation in an early form where at the time, actually, I didn't know how to draw. But me and a friend of mine from high school, we actually tackled it as a comic where I would write the storyboards, and then it would get created as a manga/comic. But it only took up about 5 chapters of what's in the actual story, and there's a lot of scenes missing that I hadn't come up with yet. And eventually, because making a manga while you're going to high school is a lot of work, I thought eventually, I was like, you know what? I want to tackle it as a book. I want to tackle it as a novel, so that way I can get the vision that I have in my head all, like, just get it all down. Like, because I was able to do it a little quicker too. I spent my entire senior year of high school working on it, and I knew I wanted to publish it. I didn't know how yet. I had a first thought of doing it traditionally, because I know that's what you were getting at, Andrew. But I ended up did some research and saw that Amazon, which we actually use today, all of us, they had a new way to self-publish. I think it was called CreateSpace at the time. I think they've changed the name now to Kindle Direct, I believe, or something. But it was called Create. Yeah, it was called CreateSpace when they first created it, and I used that. Because for my first novel, I just wanted to get it out there in a way that could be bought, just bought and consumed. And so, oh yeah, I should probably hold it up. This is how it was done. Yep,
product placement.
Yes, very obvious product placement, but that is how it was done.
Apparently,
yes, it's on Amazon. I recommend searching my name, by the way, for anyone who wants to find the book, Nicholas Georgel, George with an L at the end. I don't know why. I guess because it's not the hugest book on the internet, but if you search my name, it does come up, like, right away. So search Nicholas Georgel, search the author, and you will find it. I also believe, I think I have a link tree that has a link to it in the Instagram, so you can find it there too.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I have a link in the Instagram.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked you is because I remember what my moment was, and it was only 2 years ago. It's a little hard to believe it now. Like, last year I published, and this year is sort of like the proto restart, so to speak.
It is.
Like, COVID is finally over, and it's like the official restart is underway. And I remember I was actually at Boise State, and I spent every single time that I had for free just pretty much writing. And I had like 1 or 2 chapters I needed to finish. And about halfway through the week, I finally got to it. And I remember I got to that last page on that last chapter. And I just remember that I broke down, like, full on tears. I'm like, this was it. I think I had so much trouble finding an ending to my story, and how many times the ending had changed and had expanded over the years, and then finally to get the ending that I wanted, and to get the reaction that I wanted, it just meant so much to me. Um, you know, it's always curious to me to see how other authors sort of perceive their first book, their first manuscript that they finish.
Well, actually, Andrew, you got me thinking. So, I will admit the writing process of it actually ended up being very different from my first editing process, because I had to edit the whole thing, of course, too, as you know. And I believe, fun fact, this made me think. I think I chopped out. So the ending amount was around 78,000 words, which is about as long as the first Harry Potter book. I think I chopped it down to like 65,000 words or so, that's a lot. I cut out like 10,000 words, and it was actually really good though, and I learned a lot because I made it a lot sharper, to the point. People have told me the story reads very smoothly, and I think I did a really good job at really getting the story down. And that was a big thing for me, because you think when you finish your first book, like finish writing the draft of it, you're like, oh, I'm done. It feels like you're done, and it did. But then I thought, well, no, you got to really comb this thing over, and that taught me a lot. In some ways, I think I might have learned more from editing my book than writing it, actually. So that was a big thing.
Yeah, and it's funny too because going back and looking at it, it's like for me at least, it was super hard to cut some of the stuff that got cut. I'm kind of curious, how willing were you to sort of make the changes to your book? Were you a little apprehensive at first? Did you sort of resist a little bit?
Well, I'll admit, Andrew, I don't know if the cuts you mean are like story beats or scene changes, but I will admit, not much change in the way the scenes played out. Like, everything kind of happened the same. I didn't really change much there. Maybe I would have like added a scene or two. But what I really was figuring out was getting my writing style to be like to read smoothly, and that was a very difficult thing. So that was mainly the battle, I think, for me. Getting like there's a lot of action in Life is Death, and getting that to read well, that was the real battle, I think. To make that read smoothly and in an entertaining way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you hear it all the time where authors, get so attached to particular ideas or to particular stories. And, it's a little hard for them to sort of give it up and be like, I have to understand that not everything that I come up with is going to be A-list material, that, sometimes analyzing it or having someone else analyze it actually improves the product beyond what it originally was intended to be.
Yeah. And I'll admit, I think I probably did remove certain scenes. Like if I did anything like sort of what I was talking about by chopping stuff out, there were definitely scenes that ran on too long or too much dialogue. And, yeah, you want to, now that I think about it, there probably were some things that I didn't want to get rid of, but again, taught me how to, like, as Hemingway said, kill your darlings. That's what we're doing. We kill all the darlings to make a good book, apparently.
Yeah, but then you rise from the ashes, and the material that you actually produce is 10 times better than when it originally was,
Yeah. Yeah.
So going back to your drawing, right? You're working on book 2 of Life is Death, Death of the Earth, and you also are trying to get a career as an artist going. How difficult is it for you to manage both of these tasks at once? Can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, well, actually, for me, it's even another thing. I do filmmaking work too. Oh, actually, let me just interrupt. Alex said he knows the "kill your darlings" thing. I was gonna say that. I probably misquoted the author who it was. It was probably Faulkner. Good catch, Alec. Thank you. I got my author quote wrong.
That's funny.
But anyway, yeah, as an artist, it's a good question. I struggle with it all the time, actually. I shouldn't say struggle, but it is tough finding a balance, you know. Uh, like art takes a lot of time, and I've learned that it's best not to rush. I've really had to teach myself, like, hey, if you're taking a week for this drawing, it's okay. Like, in fact, a lot of times I'd rather do that than try to rush out a finished thing that doesn't age well or something like that. Um, and that's why for right now, like, I've slowed down a bit and I'm trying to really just kind of continuing to improve with every piece really is sort of the goal. As at least personally, I feel like I was in a comfort zone for a little while, but now I'm trying to push it forward. That's kind of the plan right now. But yeah, I'm figuring out, man. I'm figuring out how to balance the different things.
And what's up, Adriana? What's up, JC? What's up, I Attack? And what's up, The Other Side's Book? What's up? How you guys doing? Thanks for joining.
Hello, everybody. Andrew listed.
We've got Nicholas Georgel here, part of One True Promotion. He's an artist and an author. We're currently talking about his drawings. He's got Life is Death, Death of the Earth, his novel, popped up right there on the screen. You can see it on StreamYard and on Instagram. So the big question here with your drawings, Nick, for those people who might be interested, how would one go about teaching themselves how to draw?
It's a big question, Andrew.
Well, yeah, like how did you learn your style and how did you progress?
That's a good question, and I would say, you know, a lot of artists, a lot of artists say, like, don't worry about style right away, and I kind of agree with that because, like, what you really need to learn, and what I'm probably still learning to this day, is the basics, the fundamentals, and, you know, the big things you got to learn that, like, you will spend the rest of your life, not in a bad way, but you will spend forever learning, are things like perspective, you know, meaning, like, you know, the direction lines, like trying to get things to look three-dimensional, proportions of bodies and just proportions of objects, the quality of your no, I shouldn't say that. Not the quality of your line work, but you know, yeah, like the basics. You know, getting your figures right, getting the perspective right, learning the fundamentals. That is a, you know, and that encapsulates a lot, of course. But yeah, I would say really go hard on those, you know. And but the thing is, for me too, try to have fun with it too, because, you know, learning the fundamentals can be thought of as like a boring thing, but, you know, have your fun with it though too. Try to find ways to, you know, draw things you like while also incorporating the fundamentals. And I think I continue to do that to this day. I think I still try to do that, you know.
Do you have a favorite artist that you get inspiration from or that you follow that sort of helps you develop your skills?
Yeah, yeah, I like well, I'll list a few. Yeah, Go Nagai was a big inspiration. He's a classic manga artist. Osamu Tezuka, the creator of manga. I mean, him almost more so a writer, but he's a huge influence that I get tons of inspiration from his stories. Leiji Matsumoto's work of the space operas, and Monkey Punch with Lupin the Third is always fun. Anime heads will know some of these people who I listed. American wise, though, I like Frank Frazetta a lot. I like Frank Cho too. I follow Elias Chetsaudis. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but yeah, there's many others I follow. Yeah, there's a lot, man. But those are some big ones right off the top of my head there.
So you talk a lot about manga and you talk a lot about anime inspirations, especially when it comes to your novel. So, like, I'm curious, what is your favorite anime, and you know, how much has that anime sort of played into your writing style and your artistic style?
Well, it's changed over time is the interesting thing, Andrew, because if you would ask me why, so no one, people who haven't read Life is Death may not know this, but this is an anime as a novel. It really is. Like the plot and everything is styled. Like this is an anime as a book. I've been told that it is basically that. And at the time of writing Life is Death, what really inspired me, I think, at the time were shows like Yu Yu Hakusho. That was a big one. And also Hunter x Hunter, which is also by that same artist. Hunter x Hunter, especially just because it took so many different turns that it sort of taught me, like with the Chimera Ant arc that's later on. Like Hunter x Hunter actually starts off kind of fun, but then becomes very dark and very serious later on. Like it's more adventurous in the beginning, then it's like pretty hardcore later. That taught me a lot, and this was over the span of like 140 episodes. And I had watched TV shows, and they can go on for a while, but seeing these like long running anime, and including stuff like Naruto or Bleach, really taught me like, oh wow, here's all the different ways you can take your story, over time and change your characters. So that at the time was a big thing. The stuff that inspires me now is a lot of the stuff that I just listed you with the artists, which is actually some older stuff now. But yeah, I hope that answers it well, Andrew.
Yeah, Naruto is a huge inspiration for me. I mean, I don't think any anime has really reached me emotionally as Naruto has. And like I look back on all my favorite animes like Yu Yu Hakusho, like Dragon Ball Z, and both of them are entertaining to watch, but I don't go back and watch it multiple times and get the same feelings that I do through most of the episodes. Like going through and watching the Cell Saga was probably the only time in Dragon Ball Z that I had like some sort of emotion towards, what was going on, aside from, oh, this is really fun to watch. Like, watching Gohan, take on Cell, and that moment that built him to that opportunity. Like that's like the most emotional part of the anime, in my opinion. Naruto, it's like everywhere you turn, there's a gut wrenching emotional moment, and it's so compelling, to be on TV. And for me, like that's a huge inspiration for my stuff.
Oh yeah, Andrew. I won't deny. Actually, Naruto was a big influence too. That was another one of those that like again, the long running anime series where you see even all the side characters develop and whatnot. Yeah, there's a magic to shonen anime that it really does do that. It shows like friendship bonds and overcoming challenges, excuse me, and growing up, and stuff like that, and living your dream, trying to achieve your dreams. Like Naruto always wanting to become the Hokage, that's what the show's about, his goal and the road it takes to get there. It's very influential, and I agree, definitely a huge impact there. Just wish there wasn't so many fillers. I made sure to use a filler guide when I watched it. Sorry, Naruto.
Way too much filler.
Well, I got into it late, so I was able to dodge them,
Drop a line drop a line's rejected title, live stream chat no jutsu. Yeah, we don't want to get into Naruto special, which is to talk no jutsu. Oh man.
Huh.
But bringing it back to our discussion here, usually this is about the time where we ask our guests if they have anything that they want to promote, if they have anything they want to ask us, or if they have anything they want to say to the audience.
Well, obviously to promote, well, the main thing I'd love you all to do, whoever's watching who finds this interesting, please follow me. I believe it's down on the bottom on StreamYard, but I have at Nick Geo Arts, Nicholas Georgel. I think the name comes up Instagram. Just follow me on social media. Anything new I do, you'll be able to see what's going on there. Nicholas Georgel Arts Facebook, at Nick Geo Arts 1 Twitter. So obviously those, and of course, give a buy or give a read. There's an ebook and there's a the print book, obviously, of Life is Death. Yeah, go check that out. If you want to read a preview on Amazon, go do that. And it's the main thing I'm promoting, always this book, Nicholas Georgel, Life is Death, The Death of Earth.
And of course, as the pandemic it is coming to a close, the events, like I said earlier, are opening up. You should be able to catch Nick and the rest of us at Arts and Authors Extravaganza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, in the Crown Plaza Hotel. That'll be our first huge in-person live event. We are also looking towards events in October. Looking at Collinswood Book Festival, looking at Fall Book Fest at the Deffert Mall. So if you guys actually have a book for Nick, or have a book for Alec, or have a book for myself, all three of us, including Carrie, will be down there to sign autographs, to talk to you guys about your books, to help promote you guys at these big events. So keep a swift eye on One Shoe Promotions social media accounts. There will be a graphic and a roadmap of what our events are coming out shortly. So you guys can definitely look forward to that. Yeah, and if you haven't already, please check out the episode at One Shoe Promotions YouTube. We do hope that you guys love the content you see there, and you guys like and subscribe. Also over on Twitch, if you guys are watching on Twitch, give us a nice like there. We are very slowly building our subscriber base, and it is something that we are working for you guys. And that's the whole reason why we have StreamYard here. StreamYard's ups the quality of our broadcast by 110%. So if you saw our intros at the beginning, and you're actually going to be seeing another interesting thing on your screen coming up shortly, a little surprise that I have cooked up from my Talk is Bast days. I don't think Nick's ready for it, though.
Oh, no.
It's a little crazy, though. It's a little hot in here, don't you think, Nick?
Yeah, I put on a long sleeve shirt, which is a bad idea. So yeah, it's hot in here.
And the reason why I say that is because of this.
Sun, heart, sky, hair girl, but she's in a hot chair. What's going on?
Oh, yep, there we are. Cool. So yes, this is the segment that we call the hot seat. It is a segment that I brought over from Talk is Best, where I will put the guest in the hot seat and ask them a bunch of random questions, and they only have a few seconds to decide off the top of their head which one they would prefer. So Nick, are you ready to enter the hot seat?
No, I wish I knew what the questions were, but that's the point of this. So I guess I'm gonna dive right in.
All right. So our first drop line takeover version of the hot seat is beginning now. All right, Nick, pen or pencil?
Pen.
Painting or drawing?
Drawing.
Comic or manga?
Manga.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
PlayStation or Xbox?
I only own a PlayStation, so PlayStation.
If you could vacation, would you go to somewhere in America or go somewhere in Europe?
Somewhere in Europe.
A knight or a samurai?
Samurai.
Demon Slayer or Berserk?
Oh, Berserk. Yes, Berserk.
Cat or dog?
Dog. I'm allergic to cats.
Oh, good. Fun fact. Here we go. Breaking news here on Drop a Line.
Yep. So
Day or night?
Night. Yeah,
Write
night.
or read?
Right.
DC or Marvel?
Yeah. I'll go DC.
Write or draw?
For now, draw.
Draw or read?
Yeah, draw.
All right, here's the final part of Drop a Line's hot seat. You ready?
Yeah, this is burning me.
Drop a line or writing sprints?
Oh, that one's easy. Sorry, Alec. Writing sprints, because that's where I've been on more often. Sorry, Alec.
Poor Alec.
I actually really enjoyed that. I thought it was going to be like 2 or 3 questions. That was a lot.
For you. I prepared a whole list. And again, that was our hot seat drop a line takeover questions. Hope you guys really enjoyed it.
I actually did enjoy it. It really put me on the
Alex
spot.
is definitely writing sprints.
Well, technically for Alec, that's the only one he can watch.
Well, that's true because he's running everything else. I mean,
yeah, because the drop a line, he has to actually run it, you know. So
yeah, Alec makes the dream work over here. It's difficult taking over the hosting duties of drop a line. There's so much to say and so little time to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting ready to wrap up the show here, but we're going to go a little bit longer because we were delayed due to technical difficulties. So I'm curious, does anybody have any comments for Nick? Anything that you would like to ask Nick? We're going to turn it over to you as a question and answer segment if you guys are interested. And again, thanks everybody for joining on Drop a Line. Very, very happy to see so many people joining in and tuning in. And
thanks for stopping by, everybody.
Yeah, this has been a successful takeover for sure. And apparently we're doing a fine job, which I think he has to say that, you know.
He's obligated to
say that. It's a part of his it's a part of the sign that we have him holding up in the background and be like, drop a line, take over. You guys are doing excellent. All right. So I got another question for you, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to create a manga of a story, what story would you be interested in doing a manga for?
Oh, well, that's a broad question. Do you mean like a
out of anything, you know, fan fiction, any story that you might be developing that you see could be a good manga? Anything of ours that you think would be a good manga?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, yours could easily be like a cool witch manga. Alex Parker's Rules has a lot of real visual scenes going on there from what I've read. I mean, yeah, those two for sure. Yeah, I will say this, like broadly, I wouldn't mind doing like Greek mythology or stuff like that, or like Norse mythology. I always like that stuff, like the classic old tales, like whether it was an original story for just use those characters. But yes, I like stuff like that, fantasy things, you know.
And then, of course, iAttack is saying, are you working on writing a manga or considering it?
Oh, I'm always considering it. That's a good question, iAttack. You know, I've like tried myself here and there. It's tough. I've made one short one that I've had on my website, but like nothing like a long story right now. I mean, the short answer is no. It's just the difficulty I find with manga is just for me is it's our gargantuan amount of work. Kind of like I was telling Andrew that like it's easy to write like, oh, there's like 10,000 monsters surrounding this one guy, and tackling that in like a bunch of panels, you know, it's like super detailed, like Berserk level. Not that you have to go Berserk level, but it's just, you know, it's tough. And, you know, I'd still be in the process of figuring that out. Like, I just feel like I'm still trying to push my art in illustrations right now. So hope I'm not rambling, but these are just my thoughts. But I don't have any manga that I'm working on right now. So Sorry, too busy.
Well, you talk about how difficult it is. How long would you say that it might take for you to do just a chapter of manga?
Well, I tried a 20-pager thing, and that took me like 6 months, maybe 7 months or so. So like half a year. And it was very short. It was only like 20 pages. But, you know, it was my first, so maybe I could yeah, I mean, look, I'll never say never. Yeah, I know Iatak's saying like maybe do skits. I've considered that. Yeah, I'll admit I wish I had something more concrete, but I don't really have anything concrete right now. I won't say never, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it's interesting too because I feel like every author who has an interest in other genres, like anime, for example, often fantasizes about like what would happen if their story becomes a movie or becomes a comic or becomes an anime or a manga or any of the sorts like that. Life is death of the earth. If you could choose one medium to bring your story to life, which would you prefer picked it up? Would you rather it be a live action film? Would you rather it be more of like a comic, an anime, or more of a manga based setting?
Well, that's a good question, Andrew. I mean, ultimately, I really did imagine Life is Death as an anime. You know, I would listen to a Japanese song and like imagine it as an anime intro. You know, I think that was always sort of the dream. Like if one of those big anime studios, excuse me, like Bones or Production IG, if they made an anime out of my novel here, I'd be pretty happy. Though I also would be very happy if Netflix made hey, do you want to make a live action series? I would be happy with that too. So I would say either one of those two. If Japan does it, make an anime. If Netflix or somebody wants to do it, go right ahead. I will be here. So that's what I would love to see it like in a film type format, like as what you were getting at, Andrew. Since I got it as a novel, I would definitely like to see it like alive and breathing with like actors or voices or music. That's what would be my dream, you know.
Awesome. And of course, author, writer, light worker says hello. Hello. Thank you for joining. We're here
Hello.
with Nick. We're talking about his interest in drawing and, of course, writing. He is the author of Life is Death, Death of the Earth, which I keep having him pop up as his literary agent. It's really good to get some exposure and get the book shown on the screen. Look at that fantastic cover, guys.
Yeah, Amazon. Search for my name, Nicholas Georgel, on Amazon. It will come right up. You
And of
want the
course, if you're
ebook?
watching on StreamYard, we got all the information to follow Nick on the bottom. Um,
That's almost the more important one.
yeah, and we're getting ready to wrap up soon, so we're almost to the end of the show here. And it's been absolutely awesome to sit down and talk to you, Nick. It's been a while since the two of us have really sat down live on air since we haven't done writing sprints together in quite a bit of time.
Yeah, well, I think it's been a transitionary year, you know. I mean, it's been kind of hectic and it's thrown us off, including myself off. And I all I can ask is whoever's watching and who's interested, just follow me as I continue on the journey, you know, moving forward. And of course, follow Andrew and Alec and the rest of us on our journeys at One True Promotion moving forward, because you know we'll be at live events and trying to get ourselves out there, and that's the plan, you know. I know this is an oldie, but it's a goodie. But I do want to move forward. I do want to work on some new stuff, and I'm thinking about it. So I appreciate everyone tuning in, and yeah, that's where I'm at.
And Nick, if you just want to remind some people here, what can they expect if they pop on your Instagram channel?
My Instagram channel or page, right?
Your Instagram page, your Instagram channel.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Facebook or
Oh
Discord. I'm so entrenched with Discord at this point.
I get you. I was just like the Instagram channel. I've never thought of it in that way. But no, on Instagram, you will see my art. It's mainly an art page. You will see Actually, wait, where did I put it? I've been meaning to do this. I set this aside that way I could actually show it. You'll see stuff like this.
Well, see, that's actually where I was leading to. It's like,
Lovely
hey,
lady.
usually at the end of the show, we give the artist or author a chance to show off their work. So it's like Nick is going through and he's going to show off his art to the rest of the world here.
Yep. Is it this one? And whoop, this one. Trying to get my angles.
That
right.
one I really, really like.
Oh, thank you.
I like the contrasting colors. I like
This
the yellow and the orange, and I love it how it's sort of setting over the ocean.
Thank you. A lot of people did like that one when I did it. As you can see, I mainly draw in like markers. Actually, here's a good example. I didn't know these two were together. So you'll see what I was talking about with this one is more of my classic like 70s style. This is like trying to push toward realism a bit more. So you can see there's kind of a difference, like bigger eyes, more anime-esque. This one's a little more comic booky looking. So that's what I'm working on, trying to improve the realism of my figures, basically. And here's two comic book characters, Black Cat and Red Sonja, some fan art here. Anything else? I like this one. We got the Choo Choo Train. Trying to improve on background art too.
Nice.
So yeah, I think that's a good little range there. Yeah, so that's what you will see.
So yeah, head on over to Instagram to Nick Geo Arts to get the full scope of his drawing abilities. Are you doing commissions, Nick?
Not right now. I will say if anyone is interested, they can DM me. You can absolutely DM me and talk about it, but I don't have like a format thing going on right now. So I'm not like officially doing it, but I'm not saying no flat out. So if you're interested, of course, whoever's watching, DM me on the whatever.
Give him a nudge.
Excuse me?
Politely give him a nudge in the direction.
Yeah. Yeah, just shoot me a DM if there's something specific you have in mind. Yeah, I extend that to the lovely followers of the show who are watching right now.
Wonderful. And is there anything else you would like to say to the chat before we sort of ride off into the sunset and conclude the show?
Yes, I want to say thank you and thank you for watching and listening to me hopefully explain my little story of the many things I do. It's been a fun ride, and I hope you can follow me through it. I think you would all like this book. I definitely recommend checking it out. This is probably like my best, like most encapsulating work where like you want to know what's Nick Georgel all about, like story wise. This is the book to check out. Life is Death, the Death of Earth. And of course, follow me with my art journey. That's what I'm up to. And thanks for listening.
All right. And of course, we again want to thank you guys all for joining. We are shaking the cobwebs loose. Just to give the group here a little bit of information and background here. I have not done a live show since I believe December of last year. I think that was the last time that I've done a live show. So we're getting back into the swing of things. We will be back next week, next Thursday, with Diane Estelle, and then the week after we're gonna have Brielle Elise, the fantastic Brielle Elise. I can't wait to bring her on, and the two of us are gonna have a wonderful conversation, and I'm gonna throw both of them into the hot seat. So don't miss that. So thank you guys all again for tuning in to Drop a Line Takeover. I'm your host, Andrew Bast. This is Nicholas Georgel. Please follow him, and we will catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Let's see here.
you.